As a singer who has been performing in public for a few decades now, I sometimes get asked about my opinion of stage microphones. What kind of microphone do I like to sing through? When I started doing gigs, I either used an SM58 or something very close in sound to a Shure SM58. After I'd been doing gigs for a couple of years, I had 5 or 6 different microphones. I had an SM58, I had an Electro Voice microphone that I liked, um, and some other stuff. I hooked them all up at the same time once so that I could just go down the line and hear any differences between them. And what I found was that with very small adjustments to either the bass or the treble, they sounded exactly the same. They all had that little rise around 1K to help the vocal cut through the mix. Um, they all sounded the same to me with very small adjustments to the bass or treble on the mixer. So from that point on, I just didn't really care what I used. I tended to use an SM58. It sounded good. I liked that it was seemingly indestructible. You could play frisbee with the thing and it would still work. I never had an SM58 stop working. Um, so I used that for quite some time. And then about 20 years ago, there was a band that needed a singer for a couple of months. I stepped in to fill that role, and the gearhead, who was Mr. PA for that band, he had audix microphones, and I used an audix OM7. I was impressed. It had the best gain before feedback that I had ever experienced. It sounded good. I liked the proximity effect when I wanted to get real close. And so for a long time, I exclusively used an audix OM7. Then I happened to get the opportunity to use a Shure Beta 87, and I liked that a lot. I particularly liked that it was flat where I would sing, so I could kind of get right on it for that proximity effect. So it kind of gave me a little more microphone technique that I could employ, and it sounded really good. So what I've done ever since then is, if I'm using something like a Bose PA system with lots of anti-feedback capability, or if it's a full PA system with a sound man who knows what he's doing, I like to use the Beta 87. If I have any concern whatsoever about feedback, if I'm doing a single and I'm plugging the guitar and the microphone into a little amp, I will use the audix OM7. So those are the 2 microphones that I've settled on over the years. I don't even know about other microphones that have come out in the last 20 years. Maybe there's a lot of better stuff, but those have worked for me. They get the job done, and I've been very happy with them. Later.